Alright guys, what's going on? Today I have another remake of one of my old tutorials. And today it's going to be Bondo. So, as you can see, my EOD helmet here is all resined up and it's fiberglassed in the inside. Nice and sturdy, and so it's ready for Bondo. So, what you want to do after you resin and fiberglass your helmet to where it's strong enough, you're going to want to sand it down with like maybe 80 grit or something like that, just to scuff it up and get rid of all the little the extra fiberglass pieces here. And so I have my sanding block here, and you're just going to want to scuff it down. This is 80 grit or 60 grit, I think. Just go over the entire helmet with your sandpaper, and I'm going to do that, and then I'll come back and show you what it looks like. Alright guys, so as you can see, I've got it all sanded down, and one thing you want to be aware of is sharp edges, because the helmet will have some sharp edges, so you don't want to get cut on those. So what we're going to do now is start applying our Bondo. So the stuff I use is a Bondo brand automotive body filler, and I'll show you the can here. You can get this stuff at Home Depot, Walmart, usually a lot of hardware stores carry it. And as the same thing with resin, it has this cap here, and you're going to want to make sure your hardener is in there, because if the hardener's in there, then you can't use it. And people like to snag the hardener out, so just shake it and make sure it's in there. Okay, so we'll just pop this off here. And these cups can be used for resin mixing, so that's good. You can save those if you want to. And we got our cream hardener. Unlike resin, Bondo is a putty, and the hardener is cream instead of liquid. So you're going to want to squeeze it up pretty good before you mix it. And I need a screwdriver to open the can. Okay, so got that squeezed up. Move this junk out of the way. You're also going to need something to mix the Bondo on. You can use a piece of cardboard or whatever you can find. This is an old license plate, plastic license plate that I use for Bondo. As you can see, it's got putty all over it. So I'm going to use that. You're also going to need something to get the Bondo out with. You can use a plastic spoon, a knife, or whatever you want to use to get it out of the can. And you're going to need some way to spread it. This is a little thing I call a squeegee. It's just like a little hard rubber thing. There are different sizes of them. You could probably buy them at like hardware store or like AutoZone or something like that. And but if you don't want to do that, you can also use a credit card or something like that to spread it. Anything really just to spread the Bondo out. So we have that, and I think that's it. So, Bondo is like resin in that the temperature outside in your working area matters. So, just like resin, if you want it to cure faster, then you're going to add more hardener. And if it's hotter outside, it's going to cure faster. And if it's colder, then it's going to cure slower. And if you want it to cure slower, don't add as much hardener. So you just want to get you out a couple dollops, however much you think you're going to need. So when you're going to look at your helmet, and you're going to see certain areas that are all like polygonal, squarish, and areas that are like low or high or whatever, and you're going to pick out one area, and then you're going to get out enough Bondo to smooth out that one area. And you don't want to cover the entire helmet with Bondo and then try to sand it and detail it and all that, because that's going to be too much work and it's just not going to work out too well. So you're going to want to get it into one area and put it on real thin and try to get it as even as possible. That way you don't have to do as much sanding. So I'm going to get out about that much. I don't know how well you can see it. About 2 inches across, maybe. Inch and a half for a small area. And I'm going to put it right here on the side. And if I have a little extra, maybe I'll go across the top here. And you want to make sure it's dust free. Because you got to have the Bondo stick to the helmet. Okay. So I got that there. I'm going to stick this back on here so it doesn't dry out too much. And we squeezed up our hardener. And you just want to open it up, and you're just going to put out a little bead of hardener onto the Bondo. So for about 1.5 inch dollop of Bondo across, if you do it in a circle, then I have about a 3/4 inch streak of hardener. Getting technical, but just trying to help you guys out until you can figure out the look and feel of it. So then you're going to mix it up real good, and you can tell this stuff's mixed when it turns like a pinkish reddish color, and you can see the uniform color in the Bondo, the hardener mixed in well. So just mix it up really good, and if you did it right, the mixture, then you should have a fair amount of working time. Sometimes it'll run out. You'll run out of time and it just starts hardening, and there's not much you can do about it. Okay, so that's mixed pretty good. I'm going to take my squeegee or credit card or whatever you want to use, clean off my dipper stick. Set that aside and mix it up a little bit more with this. And this squeegee is actually a little bit too small. I'd like to have a bigger one, but I don't know where they are. Alright, so then you're just going to get some on your squeegee or mixer or whatever, and you're just going to spread it on thin and try to keep it even. And watch out for the little drips of Bondo here. If you can't see it too good, I'm going to zoom in a minute and show you another layer. So you just want to keep spreading it on like that in the area that you have picked out to try to smooth. And if you have a lot of details on the helmet, then you just got to be careful not to cover up the details. So like this cutout right here, this beveled detail or whatever you want to call it, you don't want to put a lot of Bondo on there and cover it up unless you're going to cut it out somehow, but that's getting complicated and I usually don't do that. So I'll just smear a little Bondo in there, and you can use your fingers. It sticks to your fingers for a little while, but then it comes off pretty easily. So I like to use it in tight areas. Okay, I'm going to put a little across here because I still have some more. When I say pick out one area, if you have more Bondo, you can go ahead and put it on other areas, but I like to try to keep it in one area because that way you don't get carried away with it and you can keep it neat and clean. Because Bondo can get sloppy and out of hand real fast. And then you got tons of sanding to do that you wouldn't otherwise have to do. So this first coat is really just a filler coat. It's going to fill up the low areas and areas that need to be raised up to meet the other ones. And so you don't have to worry about too much about smoothness. You want to keep it pretty smooth and even because, again, you'll have a lot of sanding to do. But you are going to be putting more layers on, so it's not as important. The curing time depends on how much hardener you have and the temperature of your working area, but for average situations, probably about 15, 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes, and this stuff will be cured, and you can add another coat or move on to the next area or whatever you want to do. Something to do is wait until it gets kind of tacky to where you can put your finger on it and it'll stick a little bit, but it won't come off. Then you can take a piece of sandpaper and kind of scuff it up, and that'll clog up your sandpaper, so I call it a sacrificial piece of sandpaper, but it'll really help get a lot of material off before the Bondo cures all the way, and then you have to sand it when it's a lot harder. So you don't have to do it, it's just some tips and stuff I can give you. So I'm going to wait for this to cure, and then I'm going to come back and show you a close-up view of me spreading on some Bondo. So I'll see you then. Alright, so my Bondo's cured up good. Still a little warm and a little tacky. So usually I'd go ahead and sand this and then probably keep working on this area until I got it to almost where I want it, if not completely where I want it. But for the video, I'm going to go ahead and move on to this side so I can zoom in and show you spreading the Bondo closer up. So let me zoom you in. Okay, I don't know how good a quality it'll be, but maybe right about there. Okay. So I'll go ahead and mix some more. I'm going to mix a little less than I did last time. So I'm getting out little dollops, and I hope I'm showing this in the camera here. So I'm just putting it on here, like that. Get out another one, out like that. Go ahead and put it on there. And a little bit more. That should be good. Excuse me. Okay. I got my squeegee over here, and put my got my hardener. Squeeze it up good, and go ahead and put a little squirt on there, not like that. And then mix it up real good until you see the uniform color. Most of the time it's pink, pinkish reddish, but like I said, sometimes the hardener's blue. I've seen it, so I don't know why, but it is. Okay, so we got a nice uniform color there. Take my squeegee and clean off this. I didn't clean off my squeegee, so it's got Bondo on it. So that's a good thing to do, is to clean off your squeegee between coats of Bondo before it hardens, so it's easier to spread it. I didn't do it because I was worried about the video. I forgot about it, but that's okay. And sometimes you can see hardener right here got on the mixer, so you're gonna want to scrape that off good. Set that aside and finish stirring it up a little bit more, mixing it up. Okay. So you're just going to get a little bit on your squeegee or a credit card or whatever you're spreading with, and you're just going to go ahead and spread it on there, smooth it, pull it across the surface of the helmet. So I hope you guys you can see it pretty good and got an idea of how to put Bondo on. You're going to want to sand this stuff smooth. I think I'll go ahead and include that in the video, so just so you can get an idea of what it looks like when it's sanded, because it looks a little different. It kind of smooths out good and gets like a dullish tone to it instead of being so shiny and pink. So I'm going to go ahead and keep spreading this on, and I'll come back when I get it spreaded, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's sanded, or some of it sanded. Alright guys, so I got it all sanded down pretty good, and I'm going to go ahead and put on the rest of the Bondo. Between layers, you're going to want to sand the Bondo down as smooth and as even as you can, that way the next coat will go on smoother. Anyways, so that's how you Bondo. If you have any questions, just ask, and I'll try to answer them. So yeah, hope this helped, and thanks for watching. I'll see you later.